what is the relationship between gender and TB? Are some genders more vulnerable than others in the context of TB? How so?
I'll say this categorically, all genders are at equal risk for TB. Those with underlying vulnerabilities or comorbidities may be more vulnerable. Certain populations with poor immunity may be more vulnerable. But if you're female or trans, doesn't mean that you're more vulnerable to TB.
What are the kinds of challenges that women face from the health system or trans folks face with struggling with TB?
Gosh, there are so many. Women and trans folks are taught not to value their health. They often ignore their symptoms. They cannot get the right diagnosis, treatment, and care. They face stigma, hence they often hide their diagnosis. They sometimes hide their treatment. Trans folks especially face huge discrimination in the health system. They often give up on treatment because of that.
What are the common myths and misconceptions about vulnerable gender groups in TB? Fertility, sexual behavior, or smoking? What is your say on this?
TB is not a result of gender orientation, sexual orientation, or frequent sex. TB does not cause infertility unless it affects your reproductive organs. Smoking does make you more vulnerable, but itself does not cause TB.
What is the mental and emotional health and ability to fight TB?
Mental and emotional health is important because TB treatment is long and it has side effects, some of which can be very, very uncomfortable. You sometimes have to stay separately from your loved ones. You feel confused, angry. You can go into a depressive state, which is why mental health and emotional support is so needed for TB.
What do you think good gender responsive care is like? Give us any 5 elements of it if you can, please.
In a few words, it is stigma-free, respectful, welcoming. It understands your economic, social, and gender problems. It is free, accessible, differentiated. The last part is particularly important because the care for a trans person is not the same for a man. Currently, most gender responsive frameworks are internally gender or transphobic, and that really is something that has to change.
What advice would you give to the health system and their families about these vulnerable groups when they are dealing with TB?
Back to the basics, TB is curable. The person, and to remember that there is a person in front of you that needs your help and support. Keep your prejudices aside and learn and support them to ensure that they get the right care and guidance.
What do women and trans folks need to remember when struggling with TB?
First and foremost, that TB is not your fault. If anybody is at fault, it's a failing of the societal and healthcare systems around us. TB is also not a result of your gender or sexual orientation. And you should not let this affect your mental health or your self-confidence, although it often does. It's a hard enough disease to fight. All of this negative talk and mental chatter only makes it worse. So if you're finding that happens, please try and get help for it. Also, that TB is curable and that you can defeat it. And we are all a testament to this, all of us survivors, that there is a long and happy life after TB.